Just look at the size of this dig spot. It is huge, isn't it? Now, it starts right about here and goes all the way to here. Let's turn this over so we can see it a little clearer. So that's the diameter there. And if I put my hand across, that's going to be 1, 2, 3 hand spans. Most people don't have a litter box big enough to satisfy the natural urges of their cat. And this cat isn't particularly big. She just loves the outdoors, and I can't keep her inside for too long. She's an old cat. She gets up into scruffs and scrapes. I currently have a total of 4 cats, 2 of which are inside-outside cats, which will often request to go outside to use the potty there. This ruler shown here is slightly longer than 18 inches, so every dig spot has a larger diameter than 18 inches. This is a sped-up clip of my cat and her dig spot shown in the beginning of the video. Pay attention to how deep she digs her hole. Cats will dig a particularly deep hole when they're about to go poop, which she will do so in just a moment. I grew up on the edge of a small town in the middle of the desert in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the biggest, deepest, softest sandbox a cat could possibly desire. One of the reasons we had cats growing up was to help control the rodent population because we were exposed to the desert, exposed to also rabbits and lizards and snakes. We never had a reason for a litter box except for sometimes in the winter, so the cats would have somewhere to poop and pee in the garage where it was warmer. Sometimes they came indoors, but they were mostly outdoors. So I'm very well accustomed to the natural actions of a cat when they're going poop or pee. Wait for it. Ooh. And here's a couple of boom booms dug up with a shovel again to show you the depth. I'm going to show you one more time a diameter of a dig spot, and then we're going to talk about a few litter boxes on the market. All right, we're out here in my flower bed. You can see my daughter's footprints. This is a flower bed that I just prepped and haven't planted anything yet. But over here, we are measuring an outside cat use of my flower bed. You can see the scratch marks in this circle, and we're going to measure the diameter of it. So what do we have here from one side to the other side? That's about 24 inches. And how about from the other side to the other side? Looks like, yeah, it looks like about 22 inches. Size matters. This is an article from consciouscat.net. A good rule of thumb for the size of your litter box should be 1.5 times the length of your cat. This takes into account the action that a cat naturally does, circling around a pivotal point in the center of a dig pile. The article further supports my stance that the litter market has few to no litter boxes big enough for an average cat, and says that a storage bin would be better. The PetMate Giant Litter Pan and its copycat are the only litter boxes I've ever seen on the market that are big enough for an average house cat. Even the width is almost 20 inches, which is really close to the average diameter I have shown you repeatedly for the dig spots of cats outdoors. Pay attention to the actual usable space for your cat in the litter box. The pockets at the end of these litter boxes for the shovel is negligible. However, in other popular litter boxes, the unusable space is a big deal. Let's take a look at the large Omega Paw litter box, a popular litter box on the market. At first glance, the exterior doesn't look too bad as well as its dimensions. However, on the inside, we realize that 1/3 of the interior is taken up by the sifting mechanism. This is unusable space for your cat. The usable space is so much smaller and is less than 2 hand spans. You can see the hand of the demonstrator on the top of the box. Also, when your cat is forced into this tiny space and it pees next to the grate, some of that pee will go inside the sifting mechanism, which is a huge pain to clean. Everything I just said about the Omega Paw litter box, I could repeat and say it again about the Cat Smart Sift litter box, except it has more moving parts. I was super excited to see this litter box as it matches the natural diameter of a cat's digging, and it's 20 inches in diameter. Yes! But the inside unfortunately reveals unusable space here and here, and the edges is shallow. Does it follow the rule of thumb that we learned earlier? 1.5 times the length of your cat? No, it does not. That poor little kitty is squished in there and he doesn't realize how poor he is. He's probably never used the outdoors and had unlimited space. However, I have been following a little bit on their social media page. They are planning a larger box, and hopefully the usable interior space for the cat will be 20 inches diameter or more. I'm sorely afraid of how expensive a larger box may be. Being a litter box inventor myself, I'm familiar with how expensive molding, manufacturing, and shipping can be. But I've made my designs a DIY, and you can make it yourself with a storage bin. Until the day that an investor can come and help make it a reality.